conversation panel. This is going to be a 1 hour where we talk about some things as Australians that we find pretty normal, but maybe different for the rest of the world. My name is Lycan, and this is my co-host Siri.
Lycan and I have had the I'd say delight of having a couple of non-Australians with us over the last 2 weeks. And One thing that both of our friends have been saying to us in the 2 weeks that they've been here is how much the show Bluey makes sense now that they've actually come here to Australia and actually experienced things. Lycan and I were a little bit weirded out by that, going, "What the hell are you talking about?" It was only when we started talking about the show and some of the things we were actually experiencing out on the streets, such as weird things like bins and stuff like that, that we began to realize that actually there are some things here in Australia that are very sort of unique, which aren't around the rest of the world. But what makes things even just that slightly bit more weirder is with like in up near Brisbane, Vegas, and me here in the greatest city that ever lived, which is Sydney. Um, we have some actually shared experiences. So what happens up in Brisbane pretty much happens down here in Sydney, except for when we continuously win at State of Origin. Um, but what we are going to do, like I said, is go through just a little bit of the show, a couple of things that we've seen are local. So first off, we have here a map of Brizzy, or Bris Vegas, as we like to tease the living crap out of the guys up north. Now, you probably see here a couple of the different shows, different episodes. Things like The Dump, Bushwee, The Creek, and so on. Like, and you live up that way. How close is the show to, what life is like in Brisbane?
Oh, so very close. Just to give you some context there, I just live a very short distance south. If you look at that map where it says Nana's house, I live a very short distance south of that on a city called the Gold Coast. And it's I'm everything in the show just makes sense to me because I live so close to it. And yeah, it's so similar. I may as well live there myself.
So there's a couple of other things as well with the show that are sort of local and only things that happen here in Australia. Like, say for example, when Bandit was pulling Bluey and oh gosh, this is embarrassing, Siri.
Bingo, Blue and
When
Bingo.
Bluey and Bingo, when they were pulling Bluey and Bingo in the wagon, you see things like the keep left sign instead of keep right. Or in the episode Taxi, where Bluey's driving on the, let's face it, correct and only side you should ever drive a car from. There's a couple of localizations like that where, again, we as Australians just sort of see this as normal. Even down to, well, Bandit's in the back seat there, but normally in Australia, you'd think nothing of jumping at the front seat, sitting beside a taxi driver. It's just, to borrow something from the show, the dumb thing.